The Ravens beat the hell out of the Cowboys, and now the score ends up very close. Brandon Aubrey, a weapon for this Dallas Cowboys team. And if they come back and win that, obviously, that would be an awesome NFL moment. But instead, the Ravens get off the schneid. They're now 1-2. And the Cowboys have lost 2 games in a row where they've just gotten ponded on the defensive side of the ball. Zimmer, the new defensive coordinator. Mike McCarthy, the head coach. He's a Pittsburgh guy, tough guy. Why do you think this team is this way, and how do you fix it, AJ?
I don't know how you fix it, honestly. I'm sure Zimmer's doing all that he can, but hey, do you need some time, I guess, to get used to the new scheme that he brought in? I don't really know. And then you see, whenever you're losing, things go bad on the sidelines and guys kind of going back and forth. Some of that is healthy, I think, and it's good that it happens, but you just don't want to let it get carried away and happen too often.
What are you talking about, Micah on the sideline whenever he was speaking up and the cameras were on him?
Yeah, I mean, I think this gets overblown at times for sure, but I just hope they resolve it. Things happen on the field. This is real.
Yeah, I think this happens on a sideline. Much more common, but it's who do they decide to show? And
just not every game. You don't want it every game. You don't want every game to have this kind of body language going on.
Agree, yeah. That normally means things aren't going great.
No. It's tough look. The leader on that defense, sometimes you got to have some uncomfortable
trying to wake them up.
And there were some plays where, speaking of waking them up, got after it today in the Hawkhouse. Felt good over there. There was a couple plays where it appeared as if Micah could be blamed, but Micah actually doing his job, somebody else missing the thing. So they're all out of sorts on that defensive side.
Out of sorts. It's just bad display. Some people can, you can call it soft, you can say business decisions, but I just think it comes down to technique. Are you technique sound? Are you setting edges? Are you filling your gaps, shooting gaps? You don't see a bunch of that right now with the Cowboys defense and the plays with Micah. A lot of times he's responsible for that dive, and then that back when they bring that tight end across, that usually shifts everybody's gap responsibility to that side. But you have to set an edge. It starts with setting an edge, being an outside in, and then letting everybody else rally inside out.
No edge, no chance.
Yep.
How about the Cowboys? You talk about the Browns, obviously. Cowboys get a massive win there week 1 over the Browns. Everybody thinks they're great, and then back-to-back weeks they're kind of just getting punched in the mouth. That's something we didn't expect from a Zimmer-led defense. We were just chatting about it before you got on here. Do you think they're trying to declare themselves, or is that fixable?
Well, this is the same thing they ran into last year, right? The games that they fell behind in early and teams that ran the ball against them, like Buffalo, ran for 250 yards last year. They had about 3 or 4 games where they gave up, over 175 yards of rushing and got beat. That was a little bit of the same issue they had last year. And of course, these last 2 at home, are definitely a problem. I still think they can move the ball. I thought they moved the ball against New Orleans pretty well in the first half too, but ended up with field goals. Saints ended up with touchdowns, and kind of the game got away from them. But look, the draft's over, free agency's over. I wouldn't expect a lot of big trades here. I think there's enough talent in Dallas to get things straightened out. But they gotta look in the mirror and look each other in the eye and say we're going to do it.
It's from Cody Northrup. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but the Dallas Cowboys stink. Jerry too busy measuring meat, won't sign a goddamn free agent if his life depended on it. 27 years of incompetence. There's a bucket somewhere in Dallas, and I hope Jerry boots it through the upright sooner rather than later.
Wow.
Jeez, thank you, Cody.
I get it.
Thank you, Cody. Yeah. We don't want Jerry to kick the bucket.
No.
The measuring of the meat does come from a Jamie Foxx live stream where I believe Jerry Jones is trying to compliment somebody. He talked shit for somebody, but he certainly talked about size somebody's hog.
Yeah.
We don't know if that's an accurate number or if he gassed it up a little bit for the situation, but those Cowboys fans are not happy with Jerry Jones right now. They shouldn't be happy with the defense, but they're not happy with Jerry Jones at all. You said there was a lot of that right there.
It's mostly Jerry Jones, and every time they lose, it kind of goes back to that. It's fire that fatso Mike McCarthy, and Jerry, they're never going to win as long as Jerry's alive. It does not a whole lot about the defense or, a lot of people saying CeeDee Lamb's body language hasn't been good. Maybe he shouldn't have sat out the whole preseason. He's patting a lot of that kind of stuff. But yeah, mostly, hey, listen, we're never going to win shit while Jerry Jones is around.
Jerry, I'm sorry it's come to this, but that's life in the big leagues.
That's right.
That's life in the big
expectations.
leagues. That Jamie Foxx live stream was wild.
Yeah.
All right. That was hashtag I don't want to overreact. But thank you all for participating.
We were talking about Sirianni earlier, and they got the win, so it kind of calmed it down. You know who didn't get the win was the Dallas Cowboys, and that's back-to-back weeks that they were embarrassed at home. Now, the scoreboard, if you're just looking at the scoreboard, 28-25, that's not bad. We know that we were putting lipstick on a pig there at the end of that game.
Good onside kick, though, Brandon Aubrey.
Yeah,
65 and an onside.
He's unbelievable.
This Brendan Aubrey might be an actual mule.
Best in the biz.
You know those things that are half mule? What are those called?
Minotaur.
Yep.
Man, so he might be half mule, half man. This dude is phenomenal. Only onside kick recovery in the last 2 years.
Wow.
Fourth quarter, 28-12. This game was over, everybody thought. Brandon Aubrey said, not so fast, my friends, like he's Lee Corso. Let me hit a little sidewinder. Old buddy from the Ravens, he said, we got the ball, we got live action. Dak goes down and scores.
Yeah.
Dak goes down and scores, throws a great touchdown. And then they have to complete another one. They don't. Ends up 28-25 or whatever. It's like they get back into this thing. And Lamar had to hit a big-time third down.
Yes, he did.
And they did
it's
to
close.
end that game. But back to your point, Tone.
So is it getting? Do we know how loud
Boom,
it's
game
getting?
winner right there.
We know it's getting loud outside of Jerry World with the fans.
Yeah.
Is it getting loud inside of Jerry World with the front office in that situation with Big Mike, or is he good?
Don't worry about measurement.
But Tony, here's what I would say there is like Jerry's always very patient, and even if it gets loud, what do you want them to do in season? Like, what are they going to do right now?
a good
What do you want them to do?
Me personally, I love Big
Yeah.
Mike. I'd like them to. He's been 12-5 last 3 years. I'd like to see them stick it out with Big Mike. Give him a chance. Okay.
And Dak said too. you know, if
He's
gonna jump
got.
off.
Well, hold on. He's got the highest winning percentage in Cowboys franchise history.
I agree.
He's won 12 games each of the last 3. Like, we want to get rid of this guy. By the way, he's in the last year of his contract.
Lipstick on the pig.
I just asked questions.
Yeah. I don't think that's the solution. And so again, I come back to the question: what do you want them to do? Like they posed the question to Jerry Jones: why do you sign Derrick Henry? He said he couldn't afford him. You know, Derrick Henry has the same agent as Dak Prescott. They have the same agent. Todd France, like you could find a way. I would think Dak's agent would want Derrick Henry in Dallas if that could be worked out, but they didn't get it worked out. Couldn't get it worked out. They were paying other people. They're paying Trey Lance $5 million guaranteed this year, right?
Okay.
Gotta have it back.
What are you saying? You're saying that Jerry's not
Gotta have a
making
third
good
string.
decisions over there? You're saying not in a good spot right
Can't afford everything, and every team makes its own decisions. And if you want a player badly enough, you find a way to make it work. Period.
Baltimore did that with Derrick. It's paying off. That was a lot of fun to watch Derrick Henry just kind of beat Derrick Henry. It's a nice little nostalgia trip because it feels like he's been doing it for so long. And then he put him with this Baltimore Ravens team. People wondered how the offensive line was going to be. They performed much better. Is it because they ran the ball much better? I would say yes. Anytime he can run great, that takes the heat off the offensive line. But the offensive line got to be able to move bodies. And if you can, Derrick Henry can slice, dice, and run people over. He's a dog, always has been. Excited to see him alongside Lamar Jackson in there. A lot of people saying this Cowboys defense, though, SAWFT, soft. That's what. No, we're not saying that.
No.
We would like them to hear that people are saying that. So if we have to be the ones that are telling them that people are saying and thinking that you guys are soft, that's a very common adage about this particular Dallas Cowboys defense team. With Zimmer as the DC, I don't think that makes much sense. Mike McCarthy, obviously, as a Pittsburgh guy, it doesn't make much sense why it's kind of happening the way it's happening because they're just getting beat up.
Yeah.
They're just getting beat up by teams.
Did you see what Rex played? Did you see Rex in the pregame show yesterday on Sunday Countdown? He played this clip of the Cowboys defense not adjusting and being outmanned, and then the same thing happened yesterday. The exact same thing that he showed happened again yesterday when Lamar rolled around the corner and ran in for that touchdown. It was very similar to what happened. Here's the play. They get the numbers. He's outside, and nobody's near him. Like, how could that be that this guy goes in there untouched like that? It's a little odd, and the same thing happened a week earlier with Alvin Kamara and the Saints going to the same side of the end zone, by the way.
And you know Lamar's going to do that.
Yeah.
That's like we're playing the Ravens' first install. We are going to have to read the option here because Lamar Jackson's going to have us frozen. Micah seemingly went down with the run. Nobody picked up Lamar. And, he could have ran that for if the field was 95 yards wide.
Yep.
That thing's good for the eternity of it. And the Ravens did dominate there. Dallas Cowboys come back late. Maybe that's something to hold their hat on.
Yeah.
They
The
fought.
big cowboy hat down there.
That'd be cool.
Hold the
Hey.
big cowboy hat.
Short week for Dallas now. Thursday night in New York against the Giants. Who would have thought that would be a big game, but it is now all of a sudden.
Fresh off at Daboll and Daniel Jones telling people, yeah, we know how to play football still.